1,000 miles. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So it's a nice day. I had my truck just for 1 month exactly, and guess what, it just hit 1,000 miles. So as I promised, I will give you guys a 1,000 miles owner's review and feedback and update, and I will kind of go over with you things that I kind of noticed, things that I like, things that I knew all along, but I still have to mention it that I don't like about the truck, and then also a couple updates that I did. So let's kind of go over some of the things that I did for my truck. It's nothing big. I have not done any major modification yet, but to sort of reward my truck for being a nice truck to me for the last 1,000 miles, I get a couple of things that for it, something aesthetic, something that makes it looks better. So let's go over it. So first thing I did, I added this dark emblems, letterings. So these were pretty good qualities, and they matches with the what it comes with. And these are cost me 25 bucks, but if you want to do it at the dealer, they say it's about $200. So don't do it at the dealer. Just go on Amazon. I put the link below. You can purchase this letters for about $25, and they work really well. Something $5. The hitch cover, no brainer. Windows deflector. I have a video about this as well, so make sure you check it out. And the running boards. Also, there's a video about how to install this accessories. So what I did for this compartment right here, I put my sort of mesh nets and also a battery charger right here, so that in case the battery goes dead, things like that. And the mesh net is good for holding up all the cargos I have. I'm waiting on my camper top. It has another 4 weeks before it will arrive at the dealer, not the dealer, but the Lear service center. So I will have that installed when it comes arrived, and then I will make a video about that. Down here, what I have the tire inflator, and these guys comes with the truck already, so it's not anything I bought. These are the cleats for the cargo tie downs, so it sort of kind of runs along the rails. I mean, the inside of the bed for different positions of tie downs. So I just keep it here just in case I need them. This is another upgrade I did. $10 tray right here. So this is really a no-brainer. It doesn't take any sort of installation. Just pop right in. 10 bucks on Amazon. I'll put a link on the descriptions. You know what? So that was it. That was all the stuff that I did for the last month, 1,000 miles for this truck. Now let's go over some of the things that I've noticed that I wish it could be improved on. Not that I don't know about them. Like first thing, come on Toyota, drum brakes. I knew this all along, but it's not like it has anything wrong with it. But I wish they're just like all disc brakes by now. But they keep the water out and things like that, so I guess that's okay. But I just wish maybe next generation, but I won't be getting that. I like this truck, but hopefully people that buying the next generation of Tacoma, they will get the rear disc brake. Okay, so why does this hood popped open? Well, I'll let you know why later. But when you look inside, there is no transmission cooler. I knew that they sort of took the transmission cooler out of the Tacoma, and the Tundra in the middle of 2020. So I knew that all along, but I still gonna buy it because maybe they sort of know the tolerance between, you know, they're saying that the transmission will tow up to 6,800 pounds, and then the temperature is still gonna be well under the tolerance, maximum tolerance level. But we'll see about that. So what I did is I got a scan gauge coming to my house in a few days, and I will do that, and I will monitor the transmission temperature and see how high it will go when I'm towing. But and also there is a thermostat button that you can push to have the transmission cooler always kind of going through, circulating around the radiators. So we'll see about that. If not, if the temperature is not something that I feel like acceptable, I will put in a aftermarket transmission cooler. It's not a big deal, but that's something that you guys want to be aware of. Onto the hood. Why it's popped open? It has nothing wrong with the hood or anything about the engine. It's just this hood is super heavy. I can like get a good workout doing this. You know, it's a good workout in the morning if I do like 100 times. It's like the heaviest hood I ever felt on any car or truck that I ever lifted the hood on. I think the last thing that I had anything that come close to it was a 2006 Dodge Durango. That thing has a really heavy hood too, but this thing feels heavier. If anybody knows why Toyota put a heavy hood on the truck, you know, I just felt like that is unnecessary extra weight. Not sure why they do that. Maybe it has to do with the crumble zone, or it's for head-on collision. So if anybody knows that, just let me know. It's not really a complaint, it's just something I noticed. So the next thing is absolutely nothing wrong with the car or the parts. It's just my fault. It's just me being clumsy. Something that I have to learn to use the steps, you know, in a better way. So what I did is I use the step, I open the trunk like that. I pop open. So there's one time when it comes down, my feet caught on the cable. And I almost just planted myself head down. It was dicey. So, and then after that, I know that I have to be careful when I'm coming down. You know, that the cable is right here, because like normally if you don't have a side step, I could have just jumped on or jump in like from somewhere right here, right? But because the side step sort of kind of routed me to this corner, so I have to be extra careful about the cable so that I don't trip over it. All right, so the next thing is the set part right there. Yep, this is the before 1,000 mile first blood. I tripped it. I was just kind of using the side step here, and I think my feet has like a bunch of mud when I was up on the mountain, you know, doing some shooting with my friends, and I somehow I kicked this part right here. So now I have to find a touch-up paint for it. There's nothing wrong with the car, the truck, just me being clumsy. This first blood. So I think it's eventually gonna happen, but didn't expect it so early. So this is my fault. Oh well. Now on to the things that I really enjoyed about this truck. First and foremost is the 6-foot extended bed. The bed's proven to be very useful and versatile. Say a normal size adult bicycle is usually longer than 5 foot. And with the 6-foot bed, I can have the bike totally laid down flat and be able to transport it that way. Not that that's a preferable way to transport the bike, but that's an option. And also the optional bed step is also a very enjoyable feature. All right, guys. So that was a really nice feature. We also did a little bit of furniture transporting. Even though this load is a little too long for the truck bed to close, but the additional space and length makes the loading process a lot easier. Here, for now, I put on a bunch of bungees in there. When I get the canopy, I probably put something in there a little bit more valuable, like maybe two cans of Bud Light, Budweiser. But now some bungee cord will do. I really enjoy the interior. It's really comfortable. That sunroof lets in a lot of light. You know, feels roomy to me. You know, I know like if you're a bigger guy, it might be a little cramped, but for me, it's very comfortable. The seats, I love the leather seats that they're so supportive. Some people might find it a little hard, but I like really hard supportive seats. It feels like give you that kind of sporty feels to it. And it has a lot of cup holders, you know, like 1, 2, and then down here 3, 4. Yeah, so plenty of cup holder for all your beverages. So what I really like is this area right here is soft and it's padded. It has that kind of rubbery, soft, padded feeling to it. So this is the hard area, but where your shoulder rests, your hands, arms rest, it gets pretty comfortable. So that's one of the other things that I like. So now for handling, suspension, you know, it's a truck suspension. It has a rear axle, you know, riding on leaf springs. So it's gonna be, the rear end's very bouncy. You know, whenever the truck bed is empty, not loaded down, and when you hit like some abrupt edges, like, you know, a bump, like speed bump, or you know, some of those are annoying thin bumps, you know, like in the parking lot, those kind of thing, and you will feel like the tail end's gonna bounce, you know, really bouncy tail end. That's just basically the nature of trucks, unless you say you get like a Honda Ridgeline, right? Like the Ridgeline is a truck, but it has like suspension, like independent suspension in the rear, so it has that kind of like, you know, car SUV quality, but with the rear axle, solid axle with leaf springs, that's pretty much the way of life. The front suspension feels good, feels pretty, you know, it absorbs bumps really nice, you know, so you kind of get to over a bumper, you know, with a cushy front, and then boom, you know, bouncy back. Not bad. Cornering, you know, like mountain roads and curvy roads, it definitely not as like responsive as like a Honda Pilot, or I would say a Ridgeline. Many people say that Ridgeline rides like Honda Pilot, so I will kind of using Honda Pilot so to kind of give me that comparison. Now let's talk about towing, gas mileage, and the transmission. For towing, I have only done a little bit of light towing since the truck has turned 500 miles as recommended by the owner's manual. My 15-foot aluminum boat with the trailer and motor weighs about 800 pounds, so it's pretty light duty. Traveling 60 to 65 miles per hour for the 30 miles trip, I got about 16.2 mpg. So that is the gas mileage for towing such a load. The overall combined mpg for the first 1,000 miles was about 18.4 miles per gallon, with a good mix of city and highway driving. I had been babying the truck most of the time and not a lot of hard accelerations, but I do expect the gas mileage to increase a little bit after the break-in period, and also when I get to use the cruise control a little bit more on long trips driving on the freeways. The gearing of the transmission lets the engine runs at about 1500 RPM at 60 miles per hour, a little bit over 1600 at 65, 1750 at about 70 miles per hour. Now the transmission is designed to maximize fuel efficiency for the engine. So to really get the feel of the torque and power the engine has to offer, the engine speed has to go up about 2100 rpm for you to really feel it. The transmission is programmed to maximize fuel efficiency and rides in this sort of a default eco mode, and will try to go up to the next gear whenever it's possible. So in order to get the accelerations that you wanted, you will need to put throttle to work and hold it down longer to get the power and torque that you will need. The power band for the top gear feels kind of narrow. Oftentimes the transmission will need to downshift 1 or 2 gears to provide power for just moderate accelerations or maintaining speed going uphill. People describing this as the transmission's always hunting for gear. For me, it just feels like it's just going in and out of overdrives all the time, especially true when driving in windy and rolling hills and mountain roads. Now the engine feels a lot more awakened once it's past 2100 rpm, but as soon as it feels like it's done its job accelerating, it will try to go back to 1500 rpm and go to sleep. Luckily, there's a button called the ECT power button. This button will allow the engine to keep climbing 300 to 400 rpm higher before it goes upshifting. Now, so this will sort of reduce the number of shifting the engine has to go through. This is especially helpful if you're towing. So this will allow the engine to sort of stay in a wider power band gear rather than going back to overdrive all the time. Here is the comparison of acceleration off the line using normal mode versus ECT power mode. In normal mode, you can see the transmission will upshift when it hits 17 to 1800 rpm, where in the ECT power mode, you can see the engine will climb over 2000 rpm before upshifting, but it will still allow the engine to go back to 1500 rpm when it feels like it has adequately accelerated. All right, guys, that's about all I have for this update. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. More videos coming up really soon. I'm gonna getting the scan gauge that I'm gonna be doing some towing to monitor the transmission temperature, and also in about 3 weeks I'm gonna get the Lear camper top. So we're gonna have it installed, and I'm gonna build some sort of day camper, something temporary, and then I'm just gonna see what I can come up with. I want to see if I can build a sort of camping setup with what I already have, and then go from there, because I don't do it full time, right? I want the truck to be still a functional truck, so I want to be something that kind of easily convertible, day camper, that kind of thing. So I will definitely keep you guys updated, and we'll take you guys along with my journey with the Tacoma. So until next time, see you then.